Hey guys, how's it going? In the previous video, we have talked about how we can set up a basic Redux store, and in this video, we are going to learn about immutability. So immutability is basically a concept in programming which we are going to heavily use when building a Redux store. So basically, immutability is a concept which don't allows us to actually change or mutate the original data. For instance, here we can create a new variable which called maybe friends like this, and we pass an empty array. So our friends is an empty array. So now I want to update this data. So maybe we want to add a new friends inside this friends variable. So here in JavaScript, we may want to use friends.push, and here we pass our data. So maybe you can say John like this. So this push function is a function which called destructive. So basically, if we call this push method, it will change this friend's original data. So if we run this, now we can see that our friends is now become John. So this is not an immutable way to update our data. If we want to update our data in immutable way, we can say friends.concat, and here we pass a new array, and the array we pass in our concat function will be merged inside the friends object. So here we can say, like, maybe we add Jane. So here if we run this, we can see that friends.concat returns a new array that contains our Jane. But if we print out again our friends, we can see that we still have our original data which contains our John. So cool. So maybe here we also want to update our data by maybe deleting one of those items. So here we can say friends.filter, and this filter method get the item and also the index. And the index is actually the ID of our array. So here our John has the ID of 0. So here we can say index is not equal to 0. So then we will exclude our John data from, we will create a new array that doesn't contain the John data. So if we hit return, we can see that now we have an array, a new array that contains nothing. If we go back to our friends again, then we can see that now we still have our John. So basically, this is how immutable works. And here, maybe we want to create a new variable based on this data. So here, we can create new data. So let new friends like this, and here we pass the friends.concat Jane. So if we return new friends, here we can see that our John and Jane is now both there. And here we can update one of those data by using the new friends dot map, and here we also get the item as well as the index. And now we are going to check, so if the index is equal to 0, so maybe we want to update this John data to become maybe Kevin like this. However, if it doesn't 0, then we want to return the previous item, which is our item. And we can see that now our first object is become Kevin and our Jane is still the same. Cool. So that's basically how you can mutate. An array data using the immutable way. Cool. So what if you want to update another data structure? So maybe you want to update an object. So here we can say maybe let user is equal to, so this user data has an email, and the email is basically a string which have me at example.com, and here we also get the name, and the name is our John. Cool. So here if we hit enter, we can see that if our user is have the email and also the name. Now we want to update this user without changing the original value, and we can do that by using the object.assign. So here we are assigning a new object, which is this one right here we are going to pass. So here we can add our user as well as the updated version of our user. So here, maybe we want to update the name is equal to Jane, like this. So if we run this, and we can see that now this object.assign function returns a new object which have the name of Jane. And here, when we check our user again, we can see that the name is still John. So this is how you can actually update your data, your object, in a immutable way. So cool. So basically, what object that dot assign does is it will populate this object using this user as well as this object. So maybe here we can see let new user, and here we pass a brand new object. So here we can say let new user equal to an empty object, and here we are going to assign, so object dot assign, and this time we assign our new user. And here we pass our user, and maybe the name is equal to Kevin, like this. So if we run this, then we can see that it returns our new user. So if we pass new user like this, then we can see that now our name is Kevin right here, and the email is still from the user object. But if we go to our user again, then we can see that the name is still John. So that's basically how you can update your data. So that's basically how you can update your object in JavaScript using the immutable way. So hope you guys enjoyed. See you in the next video.